Welcome to the Scale Up Club monthly podcast where we discover practical strategies to help your business thrive. I'm Kevin Brent.
And I'm Granger Forson. This month, we're diving into a crucial aspect of business growth, cash flow. We'll be exploring the 7 financial levers, key areas where small improvements can make a big difference to your bottom line.
So, Granger, let's kick things off with the foundation of these levers, the power of small change. It's a simple yet incredibly powerful concept.
Absolutely, Kevin. It's all about those marginal gains, the 1% improvements that might seem insignificant on their own, but when applied consistently across multiple areas of your business, they compound into something truly remarkable.
The booklet gives some great examples. Take Mazda's Gram strategy, for instance. By focusing on reducing the weight of each component of the MX-5 by just 1%, they shaved off a whopping 100 kilograms from the total car weight.
That's a significant reduction and a perfect illustration of how small changes add up. And what about the British cycling team? Their success under Sir Dave Brailsford was built on this very principle, focusing on tiny improvements in everything from aerodynamics to nutrition.
Those marginal gains took them from relative obscurity to dominating the Olympic cycling scene. It's a powerful testament to the cumulative effect of small changes.
And the booklet also provides a compelling business example. A company with $306,000 in turnover and a $38,000 EBIT, but struggling with cash flow, was able to triple their EBIT and significantly improve their net cash position just by making 10% improvements across each financial lever.
That's a game changer, and it highlights how impactful this principle can be on a business's financial health. It's not about making drastic overnight changes. It's about consistent, incremental improvements that over time lead to exponential growth. So, moving on from the power of small changes, let's talk about the first lever, increasing prices. Now, I know this can be a scary thought for a lot of business owners.
It's a common fear, Kevin. Many worry that raising prices will drive customers away. But, as the booklet points out, research actually shows that price is rarely the primary reason customers leave. Poor service and lack of perceived value are much bigger culprits.
That's an important point. So, how can businesses strategically increase prices without alienating their customers?
The key is to focus on communicating the value you offer. If you can clearly demonstrate why your product or service is worth the higher price, customers are more likely to accept it.
The booklet suggests testing small price increases on select products or services first. This allows you to gauge customer reaction before implementing broader changes.
Exactly, and bundling products or services can also be a great strategy. It increases the perceived value of the offering and can justify a higher price point.
Think about it. Would you rather buy a single product for 10 cents or a bundle of 3 related products for 25? The bundle often feels like a better deal, even if the individual price of each product is slightly higher.
It's all about perceived value, and when you combine that with excellent customer service, the price becomes less of a barrier.
All right, so we've tackled pricing. Now let's talk about another key lever, boosting volume. And I think this section has a really interesting perspective, Granger.
It does, Kevin. It challenges the traditional focus on constantly acquiring new customers. While new customer acquisition is important, the booklet argues that increasing the frequency of purchase from your existing customer base is often a more efficient and profitable growth strategy.
That makes a lot of sense. It's generally easier to sell to someone who's already familiar with your brand and has had a positive experience.
Exactly. So how do we encourage these repeat purchases? The booklet suggests several strategies, like cross-selling and upselling to existing customers.
Cross-selling is about offering complementary products or services, right? Like if someone's buying a laptop, you might also offer them a laptop bag or a mouse.
Precisely, and upselling involves encouraging the customer to upgrade to a higher-priced product or service. Maybe they came in looking for a basic laptop, but you show them the benefits of a more powerful model.
Another key strategy is improving customer retention. Happy customers are more likely to become repeat customers.
Absolutely, and loyalty programs can play a big role in that. They reward repeat business and incentivize customers to keep coming back. Think about your favorite coffee shop's loyalty card. That free coffee after 10 purchases can be a powerful motivator.
The booklet gives a great example of a coffee shop that gets customers to visit once per week instead of once every 2 weeks. By doubling the frequency of purchase, they effectively double their sales volume without having to acquire any new customers. That's a pretty compelling illustration of this lever's potential. That's a great point about leveraging existing customers. Now, let's move on to another crucial lever for boosting cash flow, reducing the cost of goods sold, or COGS.
This is where we look at optimizing the direct costs associated with producing your product or service. And even small reductions here can have a ripple effect on profitability.
The booklet suggests a few key areas to focus on. First up, negotiating better deals with your suppliers.
Absolutely. It's always worth revisiting those supplier relationships and seeing if there's room for improvement in pricing or terms. Are there alternative suppliers who might offer better rates? Could you consolidate your purchasing to increase your leverage?
Another area to explore is finding cost-effective alternatives without compromising quality. Is there a cheaper material that could achieve the same result? Could you streamline your production process to eliminate waste?
Those are excellent questions, Kevin, and the booklet also emphasizes the importance of streamlining production to eliminate waste. This could involve optimizing your manufacturing processes, reducing scrap materials, or improving inventory management to minimize storage costs. Even small improvements in these areas can add up to significant savings.
The example they provide is a business that reduces its COGS by just 50 cents per unit. Without changing the selling price or sales volume, this seemingly small reduction translates to a 17% increase in gross profit. It really highlights how impactful optimizing COGS can be on your bottom line.
These are the fixed costs that are essential to running the business, but often don't directly contribute to revenue generation, things like rent, utilities, salaries, and administrative expenses.
Exactly. And while these costs might seem fixed, there's often more room for trimming than you might think.
The booklet recommends regular expense reviews. It's easy to let subscriptions and recurring expenses accumulate over time without realizing how much they're adding up. A systematic review can help identify areas where you can cut back without impacting your core operations.
Automation is another key strategy for reducing overhead costs, especially labor costs. Are there tasks that can be automated through software or technology? This could free up your team to focus on higher value activities.
And in today's world, exploring remote work options can also contribute to overhead reduction. If your business model allows for it, reducing office space or eliminating it altogether can lead to significant savings on rent and utilities. It's all about finding creative ways to optimize those fixed costs.
They give a simple example of switching to energy-efficient lighting. While seemingly small, it can reduce electricity costs by 5 to 10% annually. And when you combine small savings across multiple overhead categories, the impact on your cash flow can be substantial. All right, Granger, let's move on to lever 5, speeding up receivables. This is all about getting paid faster.
Absolutely, Kevin. A profitable business can still struggle if it's not collecting payments efficiently. Slow-paying customers create cash flow bottlenecks that can hinder growth and even put the business at risk.
The booklet suggests a few strategies here. One is offering early payment discounts. A small percentage off for paying invoices promptly can incentivize customers to pay sooner.
Another important tactic is implementing automated invoicing and follow-up reminders. This not only saves time, but also ensures that invoices are sent out promptly and that customers receive timely reminders.
And finally, setting clear payment terms and enforcing them is crucial. This means clearly communicating your payment expectations up front and following up consistently with customers who are late. This establishes a professional approach and helps maintain a healthy cash flow. So, moving on from getting paid quicker, let's talk about the flip side, slowing down payables. This is lever 6, Granger.
Right. This lever focuses on strategically delaying payments to maximize the time your cash stays in your account. It's about efficiently managing outgoing cash flow.
The key here is to do this strategically, maintaining good relationships with your suppliers. One approach is to negotiate longer payment terms.
Exactly. Instead of the standard 30 days, could you negotiate 45 or even 60 days? That extra time can make a big difference to your cash flow.
Another option is to take advantage of credit options offered by suppliers. This can provide additional flexibility in managing your cash flow.
And a final point to remember, Kevin, is to avoid paying early unless there's a compelling discount incentive. Don't just pay invoices the moment they arrive, utilize the agreed upon payment terms to your advantage.
And finally, let's discuss lever 7, managing inventory efficiently. This applies differently depending on whether you're selling physical products or services, Granger.
Absolutely. For businesses with physical inventory, like manufacturers, retailers, or wholesalers, it's a balancing act. Too much inventory ties up cash, but too little can lead to lost sales.
Just-in-time inventory, or JIT, is a key strategy here. The idea is to order materials or products as close as possible to when they're actually needed, minimizing the amount of cash tied up in stock.
Forecasting demand accurately is also critical. Using data to identify trends can help you avoid both overstocking and stockouts.
And don't forget to regularly review your slow-moving stock. Identify items that are sitting in storage for too long and develop strategies to clear them out, whether through discounts, bundling, or repurposing.
Now, for service-based businesses, the inventory is your team's time. Underutilized employees drain cash, while overworked staff lead to burnout and poor service. It's important to maximize billable utilization, ensuring your team is spending their time on revenue-generating activities.
Balancing capacity with demand is also crucial. Avoid overhiring and consider using contractors to provide flexibility and scale your staffing based on client needs. This can help avoid the cash drain of underutilized full-time employees during slower periods.
And finally, reducing downtime and improving efficiency are key for service businesses. Implementing project management tools and streamlining processes can help staff handle more clients without increasing hours, maximizing the return on your inventory of time.
So, Granger, we've covered the 7 financial levers, but how do businesses ensure they're consistently working on these areas and seeing real improvement?
That's where the quarterly cash improvement review comes in. It's all about building a regular, disciplined approach to cash flow management. We recommend a 90-day cycle, focusing on these levers and aiming for small, measurable improvements each quarter.
It's like setting mini goals every 3 months, right? Pick 1 or 2 of the levers to focus on, make small adjustments, and then measure the impact.
Exactly. And at the end of each quarter, review what worked, what didn't, and where you can make further adjustments. This consistent review process keeps cash flow at the forefront of your business strategy.
It's important to remember that this isn't a one-time fix. It's an ongoing process of continuous improvement. Small changes, consistently applied over time, are what drive big results.
Absolutely. And it's about more than just the numbers. Regularly reviewing these levers can reveal deeper insights into your business operations, helping you identify areas for improvement beyond just cash flow.
Now let's hear some real-world examples of how these levers have worked for others. We've pulled a few examples from our Scale-Up Radio guest interviews.
Great. Real-world examples are always helpful.
First, we have Julie Wilkinson, Accounting Solutions. She talked about the importance of cash flow management, particularly during acquisitions, and she's seen businesses turn their cash flow around by as much as £70,000 to £100,000 in just weeks by simply tweaking their collection processes.
That's a significant improvement. Then there's David Davies from Sovbev, who scaled his company to £15 million while staying cash rich. Their secret, getting paid before paying suppliers, a simple but powerful strategy.
Absolutely. And Mike Penrose from Future Plus achieved profitability in his SaaS business within 2 years by focusing on structured pricing and recurring revenue. This highlights the power of Lever 1, increasing prices, and Lever 2, volume, in a subscription model.
It does. And we can't forget Sarah Simons from British Baby Box. She focused on negotiating favourable payment terms and managing cash flow effectively to scale her manufacturing business to 4,000 baby boxes a month.
Finally, Logan from Kernel Global emphasized building strong cash reserves to weather economic uncertainty. He prioritized cash flow over turnover, allowing them to navigate challenges like the COVID-19 pandemic and a major acquisition. So, Granger, what are the key takeaways our listeners should remember from today's discussion?
I think the biggest takeaway is the power of small changes. Even a 1% improvement across multiple levers can significantly impact your bottom line. Don't underestimate the cumulative effect of these small wins.
Exactly. And remember, scaling isn't just about increasing revenue, it's about turning that revenue into cash. Focus on these 7 levers, review them regularly, and make consistent improvements.
Absolutely. And for those who want to delve deeper and see the impact of these 1% improvements, we have a financial lever modeling template available.
Just let us know and we'll be happy to send it your way. You can find the link in the show notes.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Scale Up Club Monthly.
We appreciate you tuning in and we look forward to seeing you next month. Until then, keep scaling.